Thank you, everyone. Today, I want to share with you the ancient Chinese concept of raising children to support oneself in old age. But in reality, when parents reach old age, they still find themselves toiling for their children. Many parents, after retiring from work or no longer working, find themselves taking on the role of household caretakers, doing daily chores like grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of grandchildren, often more exhausting than when they were employed. Although in the hearts of parents, their children's well-being equals their own, when they truly fall ill and need financial assistance from their children, they inevitably have to consider their children's reactions. There's a saying, if one does not work on one's own virtues, it is difficult to be tolerated by the heavens. Originally, it meant that if one does not cultivate one's own virtues, it's hard to be accepted by society. But nowadays, many interpret it as meaning if one does not seek personal gain, heaven will punish them. Selfishness is indeed human nature. How can someone who doesn't treat themselves well expect others to treat them well? Therefore, one should not be too selfless and should learn to keep a hand to oneself. Especially for the elderly, they must leave themselves 3 good ways out to be happy in their later years. First, have enough retirement savings. There's a saying, having sons and daughters is not as good as having savings of your own. Even if your children are wealthy, ultimately it's their money. You must save enough for your own retirement. I know a relative who has 3 sons and a daughter. The daughter, after graduating from college, married into a good family, which changed her fate overnight. Living in the city most of the time, she rarely returns to the countryside. When her mother fell ill, she did stay with her for a while, but due to various conflicts, she had to send her mother back to the countryside. Although she provided financial support, hoping her 3 brothers would help take care of their mother, they were all farmers working away from home to make a living. They not only left their young children for their mother to take care of, but also took advantage of her financially, almost exhausting all the money the daughter sent. When her condition deteriorated beyond treatment, the elderly woman didn't burden anyone and chose to end her own life. Knowing the truth, anyone would shed tears. After raising 4 children throughout her life, not one of them could be relied upon when she was old and sick. Each had their own difficulties and constraints, showing the bleakness of human nature. Even blood ties can only do so much. They say raising children is to support oneself in old age, but you cannot entirely burden your children with responsibility. Nowadays, young people are under a lot of pressure, planning every expense meticulously. So being able to support oneself is also lightening the burden for your children. Many elderly people have this mindset, but when they see their children facing difficulties, and they can't help but dip into their own savings to help. Emotionally, it's understandable for parents, but rationally, it's not advisable. Your descendants will have their own blessings. Helping them once is fine, but you cannot forever be behind them. Moreover, with repeated assistance, children may develop a dependency, taking everything for granted. When you are bedridden and in need of treatment, those who are accustomed to relying on their parents won't spare a penny. Some indifferent and unfilial children even ignore them outright. So, when you're old, you must leave yourself a financial way out. Today's pension insurance policies are very sound. Prepare well before old age, and you'll be able to face major challenges without worry. Secondly, maintain good health. As you age, various bodily functions begin to decline. Having a healthy foundation is crucial at this time. Over 20 years ago, due to poor company performance, Mr. Lee next door was forced into unemployment. After losing his job, he couldn't sit still at home and wanted to earn more money while he was still relatively young. He used some of his savings to open a restaurant. Business was good, serving lunch, dinner, and even late-night snacks. Every day was packed with customers. Mr. Lee worked tirelessly, preparing ingredients from early morning till late at night, hardly taking a break. Although he made a lot of money from running the restaurant and bought a new house for his son, due to overwork, he looked 10 years older than his actual age. Just as Mr. Lee was planning to enjoy his retirement after closing the restaurant, he was diagnosed with late-stage stomach cancer. He spent his old age bedridden, unable to enjoy his retirement. Many elderly people are very thrifty, reluctant to spend a penny on themselves, often eating leftovers or refusing to turn on the air conditioner even when it's cold to save electricity. But in fact, they're consuming their own health. Remember, having an elderly person in the family is like having a treasure. Instead of leaving behind a legacy of frugality, being able to accompany your children in good health is their greatest wish. People who work hard to earn money and support their families when they're young, but neglect their health, end up plagued by illness and old age. Even if they have a lot of money, they won't have the fortune to enjoy it and will spend their remaining years on a sickbed. So when you're old, you must be willing to spend money on yourself, especially on maintaining good health. Develop the habit of regular checkups to understand your physical condition and seek treatment early if there are any health issues. This is truly considering your children's well-being. Additionally, cultivate a good personality that doesn't annoy others. Some elderly people sleep little and wake up early, afraid of disturbing the young people. They lie in bed feeling uncomfortable, torn between getting up and staying put. On the other hand, some elderly people like to live with their children. They enjoy the bustle and fear loneliness. It's normal for elderly people to enjoy family gatherings in their old age. In an aging society, there are many options, but whether to live alone or with their children is up to them. If their health and financial conditions permit, living alone may be more suitable, but they should have their own circle of friends to chat with and provide mutual support when needed. Living with young people may be welcomed by their children, but they must adjust their mindset and take care of their children's feelings. Be a good old person who isn't annoying, doesn't insist on their own way, and doesn't lose their temper easily. This way, family harmony is ensured, and children and grandchildren are pleased. This, too, contributes to a happy retirement. In short, the most reliable person in one's life is oneself. To avoid suffering in old age, one must prepare in advance. Start saving for retirement now, maintain good health, cultivate a pleasant personality, and you'll have a satisfying retirement. That's all for today's sharing. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to your comments and shares. We delivers new articles every day. I hope you'll gain new insights every day. You'll never be alone here.